An audience? This is amazing. Look how many of you there are. Oh, please excuse me as I neaten things up a bit. Is that I wasn't ready. I wasn't expecting you. Because, you know, with MySpace, Facebook, Backyard Monsters, video games, and TV and Hulu, we usually don't get guests here anymore. But where are my manners? Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the theater. I'm a storyteller. That's my job. I tell stories. Why, right now I could think of 4 wonderful stories I'd like to tell you. Would you care to hear them?
Yes.
Terrific. But before we begin, I need something special. See, I tell stories differently from what you watch TV or from the computers. I need something very special. I need your imagination. Now, there's a magical word that comes from the country of Haiti. The word is Istwa. And if you believe in the magic of the word, all these stories will come to life right here on this carpet. Now, would you like to say Istwa with me? Okay, that was good. Okay, let's take this seriously, okay? Okay, at the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Istwa.
Okay, let's give it more energy. Let's put some elbow grease to it. Come on. Some elbow grease. Give it all you got. Everything that you got. Ready? At the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Istwa.
Okay. Woo! This is embarrassing. Let me try this again. Everybody together with everything you got. With all your lungs and everything. Come on. Take a deep breath, everybody. At the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Istwa.
Our first story comes from Germany, and it's called The Brave Little Tater. One summer morning, all the shopkeepers in town were getting ready for the day's work. When the little tater came strolling by, when the little tailor came strolling by, She passed by the jam maker.
Jam, 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 jam. Ooh, wee, wee, ah, la, la, ah, la, la, la. Okay, my little Tater, you do such wonderful work. The part you let out for me fit much, much better.
It was my pleasure, jam maker.
Oh, my little Tater, would you like a jar of fresh raspberry jam?
Ah, yeah, bitte.
Oh, yeah, much, much better.
And the little tailor went off to her tailor shop.
Ooh, wee, wee, ah, la, la, ah, la, la, ah, la, la. Ooh, wee, wee, ah, la, la, ah, la, la. Shop.
Where she spread the jam on the warm bread.
La 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 la.
Opened the window.
La 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 la.
And sat down on the workbench.
La 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 la.
And prepared to sew.
Now I must do some work before I take a bite.
But before she could sew one stitch, a fly who smelled the jam came flying through the window.
Shoot, shoot.
Then a couple of more flew in.
Hey, that's my jam and bread. Shoot, shoot.
Then it seemed like a whole swarm had come to delight on the jam. So she grabbed a piece of cloth and without mercy. And when she looked down, she saw that she had killed no less than 7 flies.
Goodness, I've killed 7 flies with one blow. Imagine that. You're quite a young woman.
And her ego began to swell.
You're awesome.
Good job. You're the best. So impressive.
You're amazing. You're so cool. I want to be you.
And to commemorate the occasion, she took her traveling cloak and embroidered it with large letters.
7 with one blow!
The whole town shall know of this. Why just the whole town? The whole world shall know of this.
So she grabbed a hunk for cheese for lunch and a little pet bird for company, put them in a pocket, and set off until she reached the mountains.
Ooh, wee, wee, ah, la, la, ah, la, la, ah, la, la. Ooh, wee, wee, ah, la, la, ah, la, la.
Mountain.
And on top of the tallest mountain was a giant giant! And when the giant saw the little tailor approaching,
Hey, who do you think you are walking by here?
Good day, friend. I'm off to the world to try my luck. Care to come along?
Ha! With you? Why, you're nothing but a puny little nothing.
You can read for yourself what kind of woman I am.
Well, let's see. Can you do this?
so the giant picked up a rock
Stone.
and crushed the toad into dust.
Do the same if you have the strength.
Huh, that's just child's play for a woman like me.
So the little tailor reached into her pocket and pulled out a hunk of cheese.
Cheese.
Here's a good-looking stone.
And squeezed it until it turned into milk.
Milk.
Guess that beats yours, doesn't it?
Hump.
So the giant picked up another stone
Another stone.
and tossed it far to a hill.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa, look over there.
Where?
Can you do that?
Sure.
So the little tailor reached in her pocket and pulled out a little pet bird. Tweet! And she tossed it in the air. And it flew, and it never came down. In fact, it flew so far and so high that the giant grew dizzy watching it.
Wow.
And passed out cold.
Sore loser.
So the little tailor continued her way until she reached the royal palace.
Oh.
Wee wee ah la la ah la la ah la la.
Ooh, la, 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 la.
Wow, nice place. But I'm kind of tired.
And the little tailor went to sleep. Just then, one of the king's knights rolled by and read the letter that she had stitched on her cloak.
7 with 1 blow. Incredible.
For the knight figured that she had slain 7 knights with 1 blow.
I must tell the king at once. 7 with 1 blow. Oh, man. Wow, that was fast.
So the king thought for a moment.
Hey, I don't need a moment. Wake her up.
So the knight woke her up.
Hey, I just said that.
Sorry.
Great warrior, welcome to my kingdom. Perhaps you could help us. There are these 2 giants in the forest nearby.
What is it with giants lately?
Well, I need you to stop them. They've robbed, they've ravaged, they've marauded, they've murdered, they've plundered, they've pillaged. They're bad guys, capiche? I give you 10% of my kingdom.
20.
Done.
Nearby, in the forest, there was a tall apple tree where the giants like to have a snack.
Apple. Apple. Tasty.
Delicious. No, they are not delicious. They are too. No, they're not. They're Macintosh. Ha 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 ha.
And after the giants ate their apples, they lied down for a snooze. Just then, the little tater appeared, and she had an idea. So she reached an apple and dropped it on the first giant.
Huh? Hey, what's the big idea? What's the matter? You hit me in the head. I did not. You're dreaming. Go back to sleep.
So the giants went to sleep, and the little tater reached up and picked up another apple, and taking careful aim, dropped it on the other giant.
Ouch! Why you hit me in the nose? No, I did not. You're the one who's dreaming. Why does my nose hurt me? Because you're an idiot. Now go back to sleep.
And as soon as the giants went to sleep, the little tater picked the biggest apple she could reach, and taking careful aim, dropped it on the first giant.
Ah, that does it. You did it again. I didn't know.
And the giants began to fight until they knocked each other out cold. Later, the king came by, and he could hardly believe his eyes.
Hey, you don't gotta rub it in.
I believe that was 20%, yes?
Yeah, okay.
So the king thought for a moment to think of an idea to get rid of the little tater.
Hey, perhaps you could help us with one more thing. There's this unicorn, and it's running around the old growth forest, causing all sorts of destruction.
Just one unicorn?
I need you to capture it. I'll give you 30% of my kingdom.
50.
Done.
So the little tater headed off to the old growth forest.
Oh, my aching breath.
Does anybody know a good tree, doctor?
I got fungus in my ribs.
I think I have termites.
I think I'm losing my leaves.
Even the squirrels don't want my nuts anymore.
Then the little tailor spied the unicorn. And the wild beast lowered his head and charged right at him.
Hey, over here! Turtle! Hey, you can do better than that. I'll even make it easy for you.
But this time, the little tailor stood right behind the trunk of the tree.
Mother Nature.
His horn got stuck in the tree. So the little tailor
Hi-ya!
led the humble horsey back to the king.
She got the unicorn. Look at that. She got the unicorn.
Good and talking. I believe that'd be 50%, yes?
So the king thought for a moment to come up with an idea to finally get rid of the little tailor once and for all.
Yeah, you're telling me. Ah, hey, there's just one more thing you gotta do for my kingdom. I mean our kingdom.
Well, it's kind of getting late.
Well, please, there's this wild boar, and he lives near the holy chapel. I need you to capture it.
wild boar?
Yeah, he's destroying my faith in religion. I give you 75% of my kingdom.
100.
Done.
Went up to the holy chapel.
Ding, 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 ding.
Where she spied the boar, gnashing its teeth and foaming out of her mouth. How do you, the boar?
Hey, boring boar, over here!
So the little Tater ran to the temple chapel and jumped outside the window.
Where is she? Where did she go?
And she went to the front and slammed the door shut. Then the king appeared.
Well, King, I believe that'd be 2 giants, 1 unicorn, and a wild boar. That'd be 1 kingdom, yes?
Yeah. Tomorrow, you shall be made queen of the land.
Gee, thanks. But now I'm kind of tired. Can someone show me to the bedchambers? Oh.
That night, in her bedchamber, the little Tater had a nightmare.
Buttons! I need more buttons.
And the news spread faster than jam on warm bread.
She's a tailor. She's a tailor? She's a tailor. She's a tailor. She's a tailor? She's a tailor. She's a tailor. She's a tailor. She's a tailor. She's a tailor.
She's a what?
She's a tailor.
I must tell the king at once.
Oh, madame, she's not a woman warrior at all. She's just a little what?
Seamstress.
Whatever. Little guardsman. Tonight, you're gonna meet me outside of chambers. We're gonna capture her, we're gonna put her on a boat, and she's gonna sail out of the kingdom. Tonight, the little tailor's sleeping with the fishes.
Yeah.
But one of the king's knights admired the little Tater so much that he slipped into her chambers and told her about the king's plans.
And that's the honest truth.
Goodness, after all they've done for him?
So she thanked him and sent him off. And crawled back to the Later that night, as the king and his guardsmen were waiting outside of her bedchambers, the little Tater pretended to have a nightmare.
I need that waistline loosened. Buttons, I need them mended good and tight. And if you don't, you better watch out. For I have slain 2 giants, captured a unicorn, and trapped a wild boar. So why should I be scared of a few tiny men hiding outside my door?
What?
And she swung open the door,
Aha!
and overcome with terror, the king and his men ran outside the castle. Then they jumped on their horses and rode away far from the kingdom. Everyone, except one, that is. He stayed behind and married the new queen of the kingdom.
What do you think of new carpeting?
Right after you redo the kitchen.
Okay.
And they lived happily ever after.
Shoot! Shoot! Oops.
The end.
Our second story is a gollywopper. That's another word for tall tale. And it's called Old Dry Fry. And it takes place a way while back, up in the hills of Appalachia. Up in this neck of the woods, there was a preacher that everybody knew about, who was plumb crazy about food, especially fried chicken.
Let's give thanks and praise for chocolate chip cookies.
Hallelujah!
And macaroni and cheese.
Hallelujah!
And fried chicken.
Hallelujah!
And fried chicken with mustard sauce.
Hallelujah!
And mashed potatoes with gravy.
One day, on one of them big country farms, a whole family was sitting down at Sunday dinner.
Hey, honey, what's for dinner?
Fried chicken.
Just the way I like it.
Children!
Yay! What's for dinner? What's for dinner? What's for dinner?
We have fried chicken.
Oh!
And apple pie.
Oh!
And bean sprouts.
When along came Preacher Fry.
Boy, do I smell something good.
I sure hope it is an old dry fry.
Like I said, everybody knew old Dry Fry.
Do I smell fried chicken?
Oh, hello, Preacher Fry. Would you like to join us for dinner?
Oh, well, I wouldn't want to impose, but
Preacher Fry made himself comfortable at the table and immediately went to working all dinner. He ate the whole apple pie. He ate all the fried chicken. He ate all the bean sprouts. Until, that is, he got a chicken bone caught in his throat and went to dying right there on the spot.
Chicken bone.
We gotta get him out of here. They'll try us for murder for sure.
So that night, they drug old Dry Fry down to old Lady McGee's sheep pen.
Is there a wolf in my sheep pen? Better not be a wolf in there. There you are. I've got you now.
So she grabbed her 14-inch cast iron pancake skillet and
Santa quesadilla and soul dry fries.
everybody knew old Dry Fry. Well, that night, old Lady McGee drug old Dry Fry down to the baptizing place this side of the river. And she placed him on a rock by the riverbank.
Rock.
Propped his elbow on his knee and his chin in his hand. Made him look awful natural. Then she took off home and slept sound. Next morning, a feisty girl came dawdling and fooling around the river and saw old Dry Fry.
Howdy, Mr. Fry.
Everybody knew old Dry Fry.
I said, howdy, Mr. Fry.
Now that girl, she was just as feisty as could be. She didn't care how she spoke to anyone.
Look at here, Mr. Fry. If you don't answer me, I'm gonna knock your hands from right on your head. So, howdy, Mr. Fry.
The preacher said nothing. So she hauled back. And right over old Dry Fry went, down the riverbank and into the deep water. When lickety split, the current got a hold of them and carried them clean out of sight. Suddenly,
the skies commenced to thundering and lightning, and it turned the river into a torrent.
Huh?
The river started raging.
Oh.
Until he reached the breakneck falls. Washed him right up onto land. Left him standing straight up in the middle of old man Monaghan's cornfield.
Pop. Pop.
Come on, Penelope, give us a little kiss.
Harvey.
But we've been dating pretty near a week now.
I gotta think about it.
Come on, just one little kiss. I ain't been thinking about you for a whole week now.
Oh, Harvey. No.
Hey, I bet you a kiss I can hit that scarecrow right there with a rock.
I bet you can.
So you picked up the most perfect scarecrow chucking rock you could find. And
now where's my kiss?
Oh, Harvey.
Huh?
That ain't no scarecrow.
Ay, 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 mother de los tomates! I done killed old Joffrey.
Everybody knew old Joffrey.
We gotta get shit up with him or we'll be strung up for sure.
No, Cousin Everett's farm.
Okay.
so that night, they drug old Joffrey down to old cousin Everett's smokehouse. No, not that kind of smokehouse. The smokehouse is where you smoke bacon.
Oh. Bacon!
Bacon. Bacon.
Bacon!
Bacon. Bacon. Bacon.
Sausage.
Well, the next morning, old cousin Everett woke up extra hungry. So he went to the smokehouse to cut himself an extra big slice of bacon.
Bacon. Bacon in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, all the time. Bacon.
But when he turned around the side of bacon,
Are you fed? It's all dry fry.
Everybody knew old dry fry.
All of this just for a piece of bacon.
so he got his kinfolk to help him round up the most mean-spirited horse anyone in the hills ever rode. And they put a no-account saddle on and an old piece of bridle, and then they put old Joffrey on. Stuck his hat on his head, made him look awful natural. Then they opened the barn doors and out saw that horse. And all the kinfolk shouted.
Get him! Stop that thief! You stole our horse! Get him!
Directly, all the neighbors came and shouting in the holler. So everybody in town was chasing after that horse. But then, it suddenly decided to stop short. And wouldn't you know, that chicken bone that was stuck in the preacher's throat came a-flying out like the hen from the kitchen. Then old Joffrey took himself his first deep breath in days. And said,
Does anybody smell fried chicken? What? Nobody likes fried chicken?
the end. Oh, sure. I have an apple.
Hey, what's worse than finding a worm in your apple?
What?
Finding half a worm.
Now, on the count of 3, everybody needs to whisper Istwa with me. Very quietly. 1, 2, 3. Istwa. Our next story comes from Haiti, and it's called The Talking Eggs. A long time ago, high up in the Black Mountains, or in Haiti, called Les Montagnes Noires, there was a young girl. She was an orphan. Her mother and father had both died, and she wandered the mountain forest all alone. One day, a poor woman found her and hired her as her servant.
Servant girl, come and work for me. And for your wages, you can have whatever food is left over after you cook my dinner.
The woman lived in a boarded-up shack at the edge of the mountain.
Shack.
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 Shack. She never liked to do anything for herself, and took great pleasure in ordering the young girl about.
Servant girl, why is this laundry not done yet? I want it done now. I swear, you're as slow as molasses.
Yes, ma'am.
Servant girl, this floor is filthy. I want it swept, scrubbed, and mopped. And if I see one speck of dirt, you're going to do it again.
Yes, ma'am.
Servant girl, I want my guava juice. And it better be sweet this time, or there'll be no dinner for you tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
The woman had a daughter. She was the same age as the young girl, but like her mother, enjoyed giving the girl orders. It made her feel important.
Servant girl, the seams in my blouse keep coming apart. Am I supposed to yell at you every time before you get it right?
No, miss.
Servant girl, do these shoes look polished to you? Huh? Do you want people to think I'm a penniless orphan like you are?
No, miss.
Don't you look me right in the eye. You keep your eyes low. Do you think you're as good as me or something?
No, miss.
One day, while the woman and her daughter sat in the shade of a mountain, the young girl went to fetch a bucket of spring water. By the time she arrived, she was exhausted from carrying the heavy bucket.
There she is.
I'm sorry,
Finally.
miss.
Where have you been?
The stream was dry,
Do you know how long we've been waiting?
but I have to walk for miles.
When we need you to do something, you have no right to take your
But it
time.
was so hot.
We know it's hot, stupid. Now come over here and bring me my drink.
She put the bucket near the daughter's feet and handed her a ladle of water.
Ah! This is disgusting. The water's almost boiling.
And she kicked over the bucket.
Can't you do anything right, you stupid little girl? You go get another bucket of spring water now.
And she slapped her.
This time you get back fast, or you'll get another taste of my hand when you return.
Yes, ma'am.
The girl ran as fast as she could. She ran through the forest for miles, but she couldn't remember where she had found the tree. It had gotten so late that she knew she could never make it home in time to avoid being in trouble. So she began to cry. The sun was almost setting when she heard the sounds of cool, rushing spring water. There was a woman there.
What's the matter, child?
My mistress had beat me for something that wasn't my fault. And now I'm afraid to go home.
Don't be afraid. I can help you. Could you help me?
Yes, ma'am.
Will you wash my feet?
Yes, madam.
The young girl began to wash the old woman's feet, but it was difficult because they were swollen and covered in blisters.
Ah,
What is it, child?
nothing, ma'am.
When she was finished, the old woman thanked her and led her to her home deep in the forest. The woman lived in a small shanty with no floor and only a fireplace inside. She blew on the embers of the fire, and it blazed.
You must be very hungry now.
Yes, madam.
Take this, my dear, and you can make dinner.
She handed her a bone, one bean, and a grain of rice.
Madam, please forgive me. But I don't know how to make dinner with these.
It's simple, my child. Place them into a large pot above the fire, and soon dinner will be ready.
The young girl did as she was told, and into the pot she dropped the bone, the bean, and the grain of rice. And in no time, the pot was bubbling away with thick stew.
That smells wonderful.
After dinner, the old woman said,
Child, it is late, and I must go out. In a few hours, a wild cat will come and beg for food. Do not give it anything to eat. Instead, use my broomstick and give it a good beating.
And she walked off into the darkness. Then, a few hours later, the cat was so hungry and so gentle that the girl didn't have the heart to beat it. So she disobeyed the old woman and fed it instead. A short time later, the old woman returned and acted very pleased with the young girl.
You're a very good child, my dear. But tomorrow you must go back to your mistress.
Must I?
Don't be afraid. Tomorrow, walk down the trail and you will see a pile of eggs lying on some straw. The larger ones will call out, take me, take me. But you must take one of the smaller eggs. Then toss it high into the air.
The next morning, the girl said goodbye to the old woman and set out through the forest. She saw a pile of eggs lying on some straw, just as the old woman had said.
Take me!
Take me!
Take me!
Take me!
Take me!
Take me.
Take me!
The girl studied the pile. She pushed away all the larger eggs. And then she noticed a small one, and she rolled it forward. Somehow, this egg was more impressive than the rest. She picked it up and tossed it high into the air. And it fell upon a stone. Instantly, out of the egg flew a tiny golden thread, which grew and grew and grew and grew and grew and grew and grew. And it flew around the young girl. It flew around her until she was dressed in a beautiful gown. And inside a tiny golden purse were several golden coins. By the time she returned to her mistress's shack, the woman and her daughter were so jealous of what had happened that they made the girl tell them what happened 3 times.
What? Wait, I still don't get it. Tell me again. No more. That's it. I've heard enough. You stay right there. You listen to me. Tomorrow go into the forest and find the old woman and get one of those eggs.
Once again, the woman blew on the flames of the fireplace.
Woo! What kind of lousy place is this? There's not even a floor.
You must be very hungry now.
You bet I am. What you got?
Take this, my dear, and you can make dinner.
She handed her a bone, 1 bean, and a grain of rice.
Are you nuts? This isn't even enough to feed a rat.
What a sorry mouth you have. I only hope you're not as nasty as your words. Place them into a large pot above the fire, and soon dinner will be ready.
Into the pot, she dropped the bone, the bean, and the grain of rice. And in no time, it was bubbling away with thick stew.
Stew, gross me out. You got any fries?
After dinner, the old woman said,
Child, it is late, and I must go out. In a few hours, a wild cat will come and beg for food. Do not give it anything to eat. Instead, use my broomstick and give it a good beating.
a few hours later, she grabbed the broomstick that was beside the fireplace, waited by the door for the cat to come closer, then...
Take that, you stupid cat! You're gonna get away now,
Many hours passed. It wasn't until early the next morning that the old woman returned. She was limping, and every step was so painful that even with her cane she could barely walk.
Child, you must leave my house today. You will not learn, and I cannot help you anymore.
Now? But I'm afraid to go back home.
Very well. I will help you one last bit. Tomorrow, walk down the trail, and you will see a pile of eggs lying on some straw. The larger ones will call out, "Take me, take me!" But you must take one of the smaller eggs. Then toss it high into the air.
The daughter ran down the path as fast as she could. She saw a pile of eggs lying on some straw.
Take me!
Take me!
Take me!
I'm not foolish. If an egg speaks to me, I will listen. The bigger, the better.
And she pushed away all the smaller eggs and found the largest one. She picked it up and tossed it high into the air. And it fell upon a stone. But nothing happened.
Hey, where's my money?
Then, slowly out of the egg, flew a cloud of terrible creatures. Snakes and scorpions and all sorts of flying water bugs and a swarm of wasps. And they grew and grew and grew and grew and grew and grew. And they flew around the young girl. And chased her all the way home. Her mother tried to shoot them away. But they surrounded her too. And chased them forth high into the mountains. By the time the woman and her daughter returned, they found that the young girl had left. She had moved far away to a town on the coast, where she met many kind people who appreciated her. There, she grew up to be a fine, successful woman. The end.
Too much talk.
Where's my money?
What money?
What do you mean, what money?
Oops! I spend it! Get out the house!
No, you get out the house.
Let's both get out the house!
Okay.
What are we doing tonight, honey?
I'm taking you on a romantic dinner.
Yay!
And making babies!
Did you hear about?
Did you hear about?
Did you hear about?
Wait a minute, that's me.
Uh-oh.
Knock, knock. Who's there? A yam. A yam who? You don't know who you are.
Did you hear about?
One day, along the beautiful countryside of Ghana, a farmer went out to dig up some yams.
I am what I am, what I am, what I am.
Dig!
Yum!
Dig! Yeah! Dig!
Yam! While he was digging, his yam said,
Dig!
You never weed me. Now you come and dig me up. Go away and leave me alone.
he looked at his cow,
Did you say something?
and then his dog said,
It wasn't the cow, it was the yam.
Huh?
He said to leave him alone.
Whoa!
and ran and ran. He ran until he came to a fisherman with a net full of fish.
Friend, why are you running in the heat of the day?
Well, my yam told me to leave him alone, and then my dog told me to listen to my yam.
Well, that's silly. That's nothing to be running about.
And then the fish said,
think the dog executes extremely good judgment.
Wow! And they ran and ran. They ran until they came to a weaver who was weaving a bundle of cloth.
Friends, why are you running in the heat of the day?
Well, my yam told me to leave him alone, and then my dog told me to listen to my yam.
And then the fish said I should listen to the dog.
That's nothing to get excited about, nothing at all.
And then the cloth said,
Oh yeah? You run too.
Wow!
they ran and ran. They ran until they came to a woman who was swimming in the ocean.
Friends, why are you running in the heat of the day?
Well, my yam told me to leave him alone, and then my dog told me to listen to my yam.
And then the fish said I should listen to the dog.
And then the clock said you'd run too.
Is that so? Don't let life get you so excited.
And then the ocean said,
Really? Maybe you should get a life, girlfriend.
and they ran and ran. They ran until they came to the house of the chief. The chief came out and sat in his royal chair.
Why are you running in the heat of the day? Well, first, my yam told me to leave him alone, and then my dog told me to listen to my yam.
And then the fish said I should listen to the dog.
And then the clock said you'd run too.
And then the ocean told me to get a life.
This is a wild story. Talk, talk, talk. Too much talking. I have much more important works to do. Ridiculous! This kind of stuff would upset the community.
And then the chair said,
You said it. Who ever heard of a talking yam?
Wow!
the end.
Wow, that's our fourth story. Thank you for coming, but we're out of time.
Okay,
1, 2, 3, action!
On having a quick talk back with the actors. I'd like to invite the actors back. If you need to run off to class, we understand, but if you'd like to stay for 5-6 minutes and ask some questions for the production crew, this would be a very good opportunity, especially if you're writing a paper and you might be able to insert something that you find out here. Does anybody have any questions they'd like to ask anybody?
I do. Why did it turn off?
no, wait.
Why did the lights turn off? I'm scared.
There was so much light on stage, they couldn't handle it.
No, we changed the style. It's if you were afraid of the dark.
Oh, okay.
Does anybody have any questions they'd like to ask the actors? Or I'm Tom Marion, I was the director. So, any anybody have anything they'd like to? Yes, sir. What was the process for creating the piece? Somebody tell them the whole process. We know.
Nobody likes you.
Freddie's answer was it was very intense, took a lot of time. Yeah.
Well, the process was like, it was intense. It's like playing football. You had to keep on doing the same thing over and over and over and
how'd you create the stories?
Basically, we created the stories with our personal imagination. You know, we selected 4 stories out of different books from around the world, and we basically made it ours. You know, so it could appeal to every kind of audience. You know, because we got funny stuff for little kids, but then there's adult jokes in there too. So.
It was like a think tank. We would sit in a room for 3 hours and try to figure out what a bundle of fish looked like, and then try to look like a bundle. What a bundle of cloth would look like, and so on. You know, a fireplace.
And then afterward, they'd add the dialogue that went along with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Another question?
Over here.
Yes.
So obviously, you guys mastered the game of charades.
They did play it once.
Right. So, what was like the hardest thing? Did anyone have a problem with like exposing humor?
No, not at all. We all came here knowing we were gonna make fools out of ourselves, and it's nothing new. We do this every day.
I just want to say, like Tom always said, like you can do drama, you can do any other kind of acting. The hardest one is to do comedy, to actually get a laugh out of people and have the jokes and have the punchlines right or whatnot. So I think that was the hardest part for everybody.
And not only that, it was like we took a lot of time making these images, and for you guys to actually really appreciate them and use your imagination shows that we did a great job, and we're also very happy to have entertained you all. You guys deserve it.
Yeah, they go a whole hour without a drink of water. You know?
I'm sweating my butt.
Except for that 50 has stuck in his back pocket.
Where do they get their energy from?
What?
Where do they get all this energy?
Tom Marion. I blame him.
Chasing Jill.
Coffee.
It's genetic, Grandpa.
But actually, I told him. I said eat protein because they crash and burn a lot. So I was like protein guys. So they didn't crash and burn. Sometimes they start right off really bright and then they fall asleep on the carpet.
How did you guys choose your costumes? Like the outfits?
We took a pack of Skittles and we threw it in the air. Whatever Skittle we found, that was our color.
You got the Halloween Skittles. You got the Halloween Skittles.
We had 6 couples, so the idea of the rainbow was right at the start. So the actors, the fact that we had 10 to 5, every color but orange, and then they were married up. So there was a pair. But I was in a similar group that had colors like this. That was Story Theater way back in the early '80s, and we wore sweatpants that were the same color as the top, and I always felt kind of nerdy going to schools and stuff. So I wanted them to be able to personalize them.
I feel really cool.
Yeah. Yes, you can see how. Yes, sir.
How long did it take for you guys to make the whole play?
Since August 16th. August 16th.
Of 1927.
It took a lot of time, 3 hours every day.
150 hours. So 3 times 5, 15 hours a week.
AKA community service.
But that's 3 hours of being together, every day, 5 days a week since mid-August. Yeah, Devon.
Oh, you guys did a magnificent job.
Oh, thank you,
Devon.
We're the best audience ever.
And I would imagine that you had to kind of shorten the storyline a bit. I would think. But what made you choose the story themselves?
Oh, that was Tom. That was really Tom.
So what made you choose those particular stories?
That it had to fit the cast. So I knew I wanted to do something from Haiti, but even then it was nip and tuck. I wasn't sure if Talking Eggs would work, but then I realized that it would. And then we did, I was thinking Old Dry Fry would be great, and we kind of ran it by, and we were like, oh, is this going to work? And then realized Joe could do him, and then it seemed to come together. And Joe had started doing that. He was like, what the heck is this? And then we needed one, and I thought Shruti would be. I was reading through all these things at the library, and I was like, There's an edition of the Little Tailor called the Little Seamstress. It's a storybook that came out maybe 10 years ago, and I was like, Shruti.
So you chose the stories after
Yes. I had in my head a number of stories, but not until we had the intensive, when I could see how everybody moves and how they sounded, and knew who could narrate and who could fill certain parts, because narration is very tough too. That I could pick it. Yeah. That was very interesting.
That guy.
That guy. Well, the whole part where you got the whole audience interacting with you, that wasn't a story, right? That was
That's correct.
What gave you the idea to do that?
Well, in that story theater that I did back in the 80s, it was a guy named Joe Hart developed. He's the one who taught me story theater. And he had a group called the Shoestring Players, and he just retired from Rutgers back in 2006, and he's out of the country. I wish he could have came. But that same scenario is the one that I developed when I was in school. The one with it was Bubblicious. There was a television commercial, blowing the bubbles, sticking in your head and flying. So I just plugged it in. And so that was good.
Eric.
Phil.
We said Eric first.
I want to say Alex. You did a very great job with the sound.
Yes.
Thank
you.
Yeah, no, I didn't know how to play drums. I still don't know how to play drums. I just kind of like was thrown into this play, yeah, and I just improvised sounds throughout every rehearsal, and Tom was giving me the okay, which worked, which didn't, and that's how all the sounds came about.
But it's amazing that during the show you don't even notice, you don't look over there, right? You just kind of accept it. It's in the air.
That's exactly what I was
Same thing with the narration. You kind of don't appreciate it.
Yeah, it looks pretty natural. It's like as if they're doing the sounds themselves. And then I looked over and I seen Alex. He's like, he's
going like crazy. Yeah, he's like he's driving a plane.
Yeah. My question is, I'm going off of what Eric was saying. How hard was it exactly, like, keep up with everybody? Because I knew that if, say, you did something out of time, that would throw everybody off.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I had a little trouble with the Little Tailor. I broke the doinger.
That's the thing that goes doing.
Yeah, the thing that goes doing.
Spanish.
I kind of broke.
Spanish. This is what? In East Harlem they have these things. What is it?
A doinger?
It's a Latino jazz sound.
Yeah, that scene was pretty hard.
That was fall. They play it in the park.
I just have to add, Alex really went underappreciated throughout the whole semester. Like, we didn't give him a lot of credit, but right now...
And we didn't talk to him.
We gotta give him a round of applause, Alex. I like the same show would say, I want to be you.
I want to be you, Freddie.
Lots memorized. Is there, maybe, okay, one more question? No, whatever. I had thought maybe putting a little bit and then realized it's just too much. And no, it's better to keep it all of once, like story time sounds, and not get too. We did try to make a change for the more serious story to make sure that weren't doingy sounds and stuff like that in there, and try to find the sounds that were more serious, which he did brilliantly, I thought.
Before everybody runs away, we just want to
take a quick moment to appreciate everybody that literally works behind the scenes. Like Tom Marion, Tom Marion.
Okay, now let him breathe.
And Jessica Morales, the stage manager. She's on the phone. Jessica! Off the phone. And David, the scenic designer. And Garth, the technical director, and the entire backstage crew.
Not only did Alex do all of the sound effects, but Alex basically ran rehearsals through most of the semester. So he did sort of double duty with being assistant stage manager as well as doing all the sounds. So.
There's no credit.
Below Alex!
You have a card too. What happened? Oh, and Kenya, the assistant director.
And thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Hey.
Hey, that way.
That way, let's go. Let's skip.
Go to the next building? Yeah. You come and you sing.
Oh, hey.